Hey there, guys. We've got news for Global on July 27th, and this week joining me once again to discuss the news is Titus. So you can say hello.
Hello, everyone. Happy to be back yet again.
Yes, indeed. So this week we've got the second part of the Final Fantasy IX event. Um, Gastronomist Quina and Knights of Pluto Captain Steiner. So, how hyped are you for the event this week, Titus?
Um, pretty low hype. I mean, uh, I like Steiner as a character, but before we get into the kits, but I've had a look over and I'm like, I like Steiner, I like Steiner, but
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Yeah, like
and yeah,
these units were just not really done justice. So the step up is one of those, no perk step ups. You just, go and, try your luck. No armory ticket, no card, no nothing really. So yeah, forgettable. So the first unit is Gastronomist Quina. So this is a very strange decision because Quina in Final Fantasy IX was the unit that lives in a swamp. Her whole thing is about like catching and eating frogs. That's her like primary skill is the frog drop. And then she's an earth unit. Not water, but earth. Makes no sense.
yeah. I mean, Queen has Earth in their kit. I mean, in Final Fantasy Nine, they have wind. And then the frog drop, which it's hard to put an element on them, and I guess they went Earth, which is kind of sad because Earth is not in a good place right now.
Mm-hmm. Then again, I guess neither is water either, so.
No, I mean, yeah, and neither's wind really. I mean,
Yep. So,
what more to say?
yeah, she's just, a trance shift earth mage, does underwhelming damage, and kind of it. Like, just so you can show you a damage spreadsheet, like you said, like, here's a damage calculations. If
If you keep scrolling, it's just like, oh no, that's Queen.
way down here. Yep. And she's, you know, an earth mage in a unfortunate element. But
So like I'm gonna be like gushing over Steiner as a character in a moment. So I'm gonna get this out of the way with, and I know I tend to do like name drops when I come on here. So sorry to Queena's number one fan Cognix, but I hate Queena. I don't like Queena. Um, like Final Fantasy 9 and the Phantom Menace released at the same time, and it just seems so appropriate because to me Queena is like the Jar Jar Binks of Final Fantasy.
yeah, she's definitely the character that like you are not supposed to take serious during the game. Uh,
Oh, I just anytime I play Final Fantasy 9, I just feel any moment devoted to Queena is it's just made worse. Just let me move on.
hmm And then her vision card, appropriately enough, the a limb just hates Final Fantasy IX.
Yeah, just
No
shared with
magic.
Steiner.
Yeah, no magic on her vision card. It's just shared with Steiner again. Just like the.
It's essentially a Steiner card because I mean the card itself is the defining moment of him and Beatrix
Oh yeah,
protecting
the card.
Alexandria.
The card works great for Steiner, but it's just not really going to do anything for Queena. Also, for whatever reason, we're going backwards here. It's only
Yeah,
120 stats,
120.
not
I saw that
130.
and I was like, yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh come on. So you're never going to use this card.
Very unfortunate. And then her STMR is a spear that only she will use, and then her TMR is Aquatic Killer, which is
It's all
whatever.
right. Aquatic's kind of rare, but it's 50%. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And yeah, she's an Earth Mage. If you want an Earth Mage for some reason, there she is. And then Steiner. So tell us about Steiner, Titus.
I like Steiner's great. I can't say any. I'm not talking about his kit here. He's just a generic physical tank here. But in Final Fantasy 9, he has one of the greatest character developments I've seen in a video game. I just love how he starts from like antagonistic towards the Dane to being like close friends at the end. He does comic relief way better than Queener. Like he just clunks around, does goofy facial expressions. He's great, and you know he gets a great girl in the end. He gets to hook up with Beatrix. So you know, Steiner's great.
Mm-hmm.
I like his synergy with Vivi. I love his sword arts. He's just this hard hitting guy, and he looks like a badass in his transform. You can even see it in his brave shift there. He just looks really cool.
Mm-hmm. Now, speaking of things like his synergy with Vivi, this unit has been completely gutted. So he has no synergy with Vivi. They completely removed the whole reflect synergy thing. So this is basically just like Jekt but lightning. It's literally a physical tank and a bad lightning DPS that you're never going to use. Let's scroll continuously down the list. Down here to almost at the cutoff, we have Steiner doing his lightning damage. It's just,
and we've got one more unit to cover, and I can already see them at the bottom of the pile. This is a great week. I do wonder though, in his kit if his like imbues are like a call out to like his sword magic he has with Vivi, you know, because he can imbue himself with like fire, lightning, and ice. I think so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for this unit, you have to just ask yourself, have you ever used Jekt in any meaningful way? Have you ever used Avalanche Barret in any meaningful way? Well, this is just the same unit, but for Thunder.
So I wonder, because we've had those sort of niche situations in the past where an unexpected tank has come to the rescue because they've just got the right racial mitigations for the fight. And Steiner has a few. Does he have any hope in that regard?
His basically entire purpose in the JP server was for one of the Dark Vision's Abyss bosses. His kit was custom made to counter the Dark Vision's Abyss boss, because that boss did accuracy physical, like that dealt really high damage, and it was like the proper races of Steiner by memory. But because Global has skipped the Dark Vision's Abyss bosses, like his one and only extremely narrow case use doesn't exist. So basically no. See, the problem with physical tanks is like Mirage. Mirage just like, why would you ever physical cover if you can just Mirage something? That's the problem. The boss would have to do like 6 or more physical attacks per turn that deal extreme damage and can't be evaded. You have to have accuracy. It'd have to deal enough damage to just not be able to bulk up. You would have to be able 6 or more. Also, there's also things like imbues that you can imbue the enemy with. So, like, there's so many ways to negate physical damage. Using an actual physical tank to AoE cover is almost unheard of these days. And that's the problem. So, Steiner being a physical tank and doing, like, 5% damage of a real unit is... You're not going to use that. That's the problem here.
What I will ask, then, is... have Alim sort of just completely forgotten how to design a tank? Because I took a moment recently to think, when was the last decent JP tank we got? And I can't think beyond Runda.
As far as tanks, Runda is still the best tank by far in JP. Because apparently after Runda, JP forgot that 85 mitigation exists. Ridar, at the very least, brings a field. So even though Ritter's damage is terrible, at the very least he's buffing the rest of the party with a field, and that's kind of useful. Same thing with Cecil. Cecil's amazing in tanking. He's actually, good, because Magic Tank's a whole other category. Magic Tanks, you can't, like Magic and Mirage, so you have to tank it if it does magic damage.
That's fair. Cecil.
Yeah, but for physical tanks, the last good physical tank, I guess, doesn't exist. Runda. Still Runda.
Yeah, that's it. Good old Runda.
Mm-hmm.
See, I told you, I apologize, Cog. I gave you, and now we've talked up Runda, your other favorite. There you go.
Yep. So his vision card, as we already discussed, same thing right here. Something to protect. Again, this was really an awesome scene in the game, as you mentioned. I really like that scene. So
Mm-hmm.
very cool. And then yeah, his weapon, is a weapon for him. It's a two-handed weapon, so he's going to use it in his shift form for DPS. Air quotes DPS.
Yeah.
And
Terrible
yeah,
TMR.
and then his TMR is generic. Whatever. And there's the two new units. And then we have the Awakened Garland. So once again, we have just a throwaway Neovisions. They do this. Or Neovisions Awakened.
Yeah.
They do this. You're going to use him for the bonus unit, and then you're going to bench him and never see him again. He is a breaker that does abysmally bad damage. Doesn't even have his own focus. You would have to give him like external focus, with like dark range TMR or something. And yeah, he's a really bad mage and an 87 breaker. So, yay.
Yeah, I don't think anything more needs to be said about him. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like sometimes you get in the past where you say, "Oh yeah, for a newer player this might be all right." It's like, nah. I mean, your newer player's not even going to have enough copies to make him remotely decent anyway.
Mm-hmm. Now, I will say, I do think he's the only breaker in Final Fantasy IX locked content except for Kuja. And if you don't have Kuja, I think he's the second best. Does anyone else have breaks in Final Fantasy IX other than Kuja and Garland?
Oh God,
I don't,
can't really think of it.
I don't think so. I could be forgetting
You might
someone.
be right.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yep. So there's
I
that.
could be as well, but
So the event is a raid. We're going to get Lucky 7 celebration keys from the reward, so, be sure to run the raid. The gear is super generic, who cares? It's really bad. And then we also are getting an exploration, and I think this was locked to Final Fantasy. It is. This quest is locked to Final Fantasy 9, so here's where you're going to use Garland to break for you if you don't have Kuja.
all
So,
right. And then the question I would ask in any exploration that shows up is this going to be one of those ones where the enemies just spawn at you like every few seconds, or is this a more normal one?
nope. This is the where they have a very high encounter rate. You're going to want to use things like the charm bangles, etc., to lower encounter rate, just for
Yeah.
your convenience. It is a relatively, by memory, kind of long exploration. It's the like abyss or whatever from Final Fantasy IX, the end game.
Yeah,
And
Pandemonium.
yeah, Pandemonium, that's what it was, and it's pretty long. It took like half an hour, I think, in the JP server for me. But
Oh goodness. Well,
I,
that'll be fun.
I could be thinking of a different one. But in any case, it wasn't hard or anything. It's just long, but it's not hard at
Yeah.
all. So, yep, that'll
I
be.
mean, it looks long looking at the map for it.
Mm-hmm. So there's that. We're also getting an EX stage. Recently, it seems like after the latest client patch, they are now doing the special series locked missions for these. So this is, I'm assuming, going to still have the Final Fantasy IX mission. It's an optional mission, so if you don't want to take Final Fantasy IX, you don't have to. You'll just miss out on one of the missions that gives either like an STMR mogul or like 300 lapis. I forget what it was. But yeah, so not super hard. If you have to bring Final Fantasy IX only, this can bring a friend. So just grab one of the properly built friends, and it should be pretty fine. The gear is whatever for Queena, I guess.
Yeah, great. I'm not going to pull for Queen, so it'll just sit in my inventory until I inevitably off banner.
And then the crown stage for Dagger. So this one is one of the crown stages I mentioned before that I skipped in JP because I didn't have Wind or Final Fantasy IX units. But on global, thankfully Chizuru is once again here to totally carry us. So if you use Chizuru for the Emperor stage, the Ricard stage, and she totally did everything by herself, once again Chizuru will handle this.
And you can also bring Malphase.
Oh, true. Now I think
Um,
I think the special mission is Final Fantasy IX only, and that one, for most
oh,
people, I would recommend just not bother. Honestly speaking, just skip that mission.
yeah, that doesn't sound fun, especially if you're not using your Queen carry or whatever.
Yeah, if they allow friends and you can find a proper friend like the Tantalus Zidane from last week or whatever, it shouldn't be too bad. I don't think. Or you could probably even do like an auto battle clear, kind of like I did for the boss last week. And it might take you 30 turns, 40 turns, but you'll still get it done and you'll still get the mission done. So, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, that's yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then as far as Dagger's Crowns, they increase her damage basically, and her damage is still pretty terrible. So.
And yeah, I looked them up earlier. She gets like Bahamut added to her evoke fields.
Yeah.
100 LB damage with. But it's like Dagger. It's kind of not a good use of a slot. So.
Her damage is like so far behind. Like they should have fixed that. I wish they would have, but nope. Yeah, JP like doesn't want good evokers anymore. It seems like. I guess I can't say that because they did do the new anniversary evokers with like Tidis and Roka, and those are pretty good.
Or maybe they just don't like Final Fantasy 9.
That's probably what it is.
It feels like it. Like all the units have been kind of whatever, you know.
Yeah, the problem is like she's a spirit-based evoker, and you know, for one thing, leader skills don't buff spirit, other than like 200%, which is irrelevant at this point. She doesn't scale well. Yeah, she has a lot of problems, and her damage is still just unfortunate after the changes.
Gearing spirit for damage has always been an issue. So spirit damage deal is just always a red flag.
Yeah. Yep. And then they're doing the Chamber of Blue Magic update. They're adding Queenish stages. I will say, I actually kind of got surprised by this. Even if you did these stages back in the past when they came out years and years ago, apparently when they re-add these to the Chamber of Blue Magic, the missions are reset. So if you want an extra like 200 or 300 lapis, go in there and rerun them. You know, because
it was the same. It was the same for Quistis. I reran the Quistis ones because the missions were reset.
Yeah, I just found out this week because I was going to the chamber to browse the new Chamber of Seals, and I saw the Chamber of Blue Magic and it said new one. I'm like, wait, what? New? And I went and looked at it. I'm like, oh, Quistis is reset. You know, I did these years ago, but they're reset. So yay, 200 lapis. Why not?
Yep. It's all for the lapis.
So there's that. And then the special daily fragment challenge campaign. So this will be fun. So
it's a bit of a disappointment. Yeah.
Yes, as we saw on the live stream, the live stream had a banner image showing that we were going to be getting 5 per day per unit, run it twice a day. That seemed too good to be true, and apparently it was. So they have corrected it. Now it is going to be twice a day with the normal fragment dungeon, which you will get 1, 2, or 3 per unit, and then you can run that twice a day instead of getting doubles. Like this is, I've said it before. Last time they did it like a year ago. It's so irritating the way Global does this. You know, on JP when we get the double fragment dungeon, they just literally drop double fragments. So if you would have gotten a 2-drop, you get a 4-drop instead, and you don't have to re-roll the dungeon twice as many times per day. But we do on Global, and it's just twice the headache. I don't know.
It's like the only positive of that format is that if you get on your first run, you like finish off a unit and then you can swap them out. But that's like it would be so much better just to have the double drops.
Yeah, just less headache. But it is twice fragments. I didn't even look. How long is it lasting? Looks like 2 weeks.
2 weeks, great. You know, and then we'll have to wait another 6 months or whatever. I'm being optimistic.
Yeah, I think it was an entire year. Did they ever run it again after the anniversary last year?
I can't think. It doesn't feel like it gets run ever. Like, no, I think you're right. I think that's it. Yeah, it's an anniversary thing, and then that's it.
So once a year, and they couldn't even give us 5 per day. That's a shame.
It's sad. I mean, I think most people kind of knew it wasn't going to be 5 a day twice, but copium.
And that's pretty much it. There is going to be the new players vote. I didn't bring up the news for that. There's going to be, new bundles and stuff. Fountain of
Yeah.
Lapis, some other stuff. The new special Lapis banner.
To briefly go over those votes, it's just like, we get a bunch of, I think it's 20,000 replica lapis. You can choose to either get them in Dark Visions reward, a Clash reward, or a Daily Fragment reward. And so it's largely, it's the same reward as 20,000. I kind of don't like the Daily Fragment reward because it just feels like it opens the opportunity for you to accidentally forget to do it one or more days and you don't get everything or something.
Mm-hmm. Here's the real question: are they replacing the rewards with this? So, for example, let's just say, Dark Visions rewards. If this wins the vote, are they going to replace Dark Visions rewards with 20,000 replica? Are they going to replace the daily fragment challenge with 20,000 replica?
It's like, surely not. But then you ask yourself, would Gumi do this? And you suddenly start thinking that, hang on, that's something they might do.
Yeah, because otherwise, what is the point of this vote? I don't get the point of the vote. So if it's not being replaced, then it's like just saying which daily chore would you rather do? I don't get the point here.
So weird. It's just such a boring. This is meant to be like an anniversary. It's an anniversary thing. Like this is a great thing you get to vote for, and it's just like, oh, how do you want your 20,000 fake lapis? We won't just send it to you. You're going to have to earn it. Just pick your poison.
Mm-hmm. I guess I should mention also, starting this week is when we're getting the keys mailed to us. The we're sorry keys for making the anniversary bad. They're giving us the extra 50. I think it's 15 keys, or 20 keys. I don't know, a bunch of keys. So make sure starting Thursday you start doing that Cactuar dungeon every single day, because it is still daily locked. If you forget about it, and then the last week of anniversary, I've got 22 keys that I can't spend, because you can only spend one per day. So don't get caught doing that.
Yeah, don't miss out on the sweet repetitive tasks.
And that's mostly it for this week. Dark Visions is still going to be active next week. Clash of Wills is still active next week. So run the raid, finish off your Dark Visions, finish off your Clash of Wills, and that'll be the end of it for July. Anything else you want to cover before we end it, Tidis?
I suppose I've got a couple things. So as sort of we spoke about earlier, how you can just bring Malphasy to a win fight. If you haven't done those crown fights yet, and you kind of stumble upon Sinzar's video from last week, do remember that was pre-Malphasy, so she can stomp those fights now if you use her. So that's an option. Also, just to bring up a point raised on your last news video. So Win Foxie's your favorite guest. What was that about?
I said he's a fan favorite guest. I didn't say he's my favorite.
Is that what you said?
I said he's a
fan
favorite.
He sings for you.
It is. People love when he sings. So do you want to sing for us, Tidis, so you can increase your ranking?
Increase my ranking? I thought I was... Oh, dear me. No, you're right. No, you're right. I will sing Melodies of Life for you. Alone for a while, I've been searching through the dark for traces of the love you left inside my lonely heart. To weep by picking up the pieces that remain, melodies of life, love's lost refrain. I'll stop there.
Oh, wow. That was an unexpected pleasure. So you can let me know in the comments now, viewers, who is the better singer, Foxie or Tidis?
Oh, no, don't leave it to the comments. They'll hate me watching it. Just watch it.
All right, but that is probably a perfect place to end it. So thanks again for joining, Titus.
No worries. Glad to be here.
All right, later.
Peace.